Hello, everyone. So in this video, I want to show you how to use the desktop version of Minitab and using some simple linear regression. So I already have a Minitab file open. I'm going to share my screen here. So this Minitab file includes information about vehicles. And today I'm going to study their curb weight versus their miles per gallon. So I want to know, is there maybe a relationship between curb weight of a vehicle and miles per gallon? So when I'm looking at simple linear regression, I will go up here to the menu and go to Stat. Now, if I want to get the correlation value, I'm going to choose Basic, and down towards the bottom, we will see where it says correlation. So this is my correlation value, my R value. It tells me if there's a relationship in what strength and direction. Now, when I put the variables in here, I just need to put the two variables, and it doesn't matter the order for the R value, the number of R. So that's because it's just a calculation, doesn't matter. But I want you to know that you will get a graph, the scatter plot between those two variables out here as well. So if you're getting a graph, it's always a good idea to put the X in first, because Minitab will choose that first variable to be the x-axis. So if you think about X versus Y, I want to know if X can predict Y. So I want to know if the curb weight of a vehicle can predict the miles per gallon. So I'm going to put curb weight in first and then miles per gallon. I don't have to choose any options. Of course, you can always play around with those if you want. I'm just going to click OK. So we'll see we get a scatter plot here. Does look like there's a little bit of a relationship. Now, if we're looking down here, R is equal to negative 0.390, or if you scroll down a little bit further, you can see it right here as well. So that's my correlation value. So it's not a strong linear relationship, but there is a little bit of a relationship there in a negative sense, right? So as X is increasing, my Y is decreasing. All right, so I want to show you a few more things for that simple linear regression. So let's go back up here to Stat. And now I'm going to go to the regression menu here. Now you could see under this regression menu, there's a lot of different things you can do. And the very first one you could see is a fitted line plot. So you could choose that, and you could get the scatter plot between curb weight and miles per gallon, and it could put the regression line on. So that's something you may want to try out sometime. If you want to get the line of best fit, the least squares regression line, you can choose regression here again, and then fit the regression model. So what this will do is this will ask us to tell Minitab which one is the response, which is the Y variable, what we're trying to predict, and then which one is the predictor, my X variable. So my response here, I want to know if curb weight can predict miles per gallon. So miles per gallon is the Y, and then my continuous predictor is curb weight. Now here for simple linear regression, we're not going to use the categorical predictors. Now, of course, you can go in here and you could choose different options, and you will as you progress into regression. But for right now, I'm just going to click OK so we can see what we get for this output. So right away at the very top, we can see we get a regression equation. So this is great. Here's my least squares equation. Now, I just want you to make a note that it's going to use the column names instead of X and Y. That's okay. And I also want you to make a note that it has changed the order, right? So we're used to looking at an equation as Y equals mx plus b, right? So here it has my Y as my miles per gallon, but equals, now it has my Y-intercept first, the b first right here, and then it has my slope times X here, okay? So just keep an eye on that. Now, if you scroll down here to the coefficient section, you'll see you have the constant coefficient right here, the 35.12. That is my y-intercept. And then below it is the slope of the line, that negative 0.00389. Okay. Right below this, you have the model summary. So for the model summary, we're looking at R squared in stat 1, and this R squared is my coefficient of determination. So 15.21%. So this is how well that regression line is fitting my data. So it's not a great fit. Okay. One more thing I want to show you. I want to show you how to use the graph feature to get the scatter plot as well. I know we already got it when we looked at correlation, but I want to just take a look at that. So I am going to choose graph here. Then under graph, I'm going to choose scatter plot, which is just the second option down. So under scatter plot, now you can see we have multiple ways and different things we can choose here. I'm just going to choose simple right now. Again, it asks for Y and X. So Y is miles per gallon. That's my response. That's what I'm trying to predict based on X, which is the curve weight. Okay. And I will just click OK. And here is my scatter plot, which it shouldn't be a surprise because we already saw the scatter plot when we got R, the correlation value.